Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bluebird and Bee Tarot. I am Melanie, and I am so happy that you are here with me today. And we are going to be taking a look at the question, what was your person feeling the last time they had contact with you? So this could be the last time they saw you in person, the last time they saw you on social media, the last time that the two of you interacted in some way, but just the last time that your person was aware of you or saw you or had some interaction. How did they feel? How did that make them feel? All right, so we have 3 piles to choose from today. The first is the Flights of Fantasy Tarot, and that is accompanied by this really pretty piece of rock quartz. And then I pulled a card from each deck, which is the Moon, because that's a really strong feeling card, and I want to tap really strongly into that feeling space. Okay, and then the next pile that we have, pile 2, is the Luminous Void Tarot. Then we have this piece of hematite. And then this is what the Moon card looks like in the Luminous Void Tarot. Okay. Okay, and then finally we have the Mystic Mondays Tarot. And this really cute and cool piece of snowflake obsidian, which is kind of unusual in that it kind of trends darker. You normally see it trend like more white with black accents, but this is kind of the other way around. And then this is what the Moon card looks like in the Mystic Mondays Tarot. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute on the video to choose your pile, see which one you are drawn to. You can absolutely be drawn to more than one. More than one pile might have messages for you. One pile might be from your perspective and the other from your person's perspective. There are a lot of different ways that it can go. There's no wrong way to pick your pile. It's just whichever one your intuition tells you is the one that's meant for you. If the time that I allot here on the video is not sufficient, you need more time, feel free to pause the video and then just meet me at your pile. The timestamps are in the description below, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Flights of Fantasy Tarot or the Rock Quartz, then you have arrived at your reading. So let's take a look. So Spirit, we want to know, how did pile 1's person feel the last time they saw them? How did pile 1's person feel, please, Spirit? Tap me into their energy. Tap me into their heart space, please. Oh, that's interesting that we got Strength as one of the oracle cards here, because when I was deciding which tarot card I was going to choose from the decks to exemplify the idea of how they felt, for some reason I was drawn to the idea of choosing Strength, even though it's, it's not a particularly emotion-based card, Strength. It's I would argue more about your actions, although I guess that starts with feelings. But yeah, that's just interesting to me. Oh, and then here we have a really strong representation of the Moon on this card in the background. So that's wild. Come on, Spirit. Already showing off. Okay, one more card, please, Spirit. One more card. Okay, so we got strength. You need only courage to find the love you deserve. Then we have I am safe, and then we have be present. So, yeah, this is what I think is going on with your person, and I think that seeing you or interacting with you just really caused all of this to rush to the forefront, because I think they've been trying to distract themselves from it or suppress it down. Is I think that they have a lot of anxiety in their life. I think they have a lot of fears about the future, a lot of worry about the future. I think that a lot of it is warranted. I think that they probably have a lot of really high stress, high pressure situations in their life. But I do think a lot of it is kind of mental spiraling. I think a lot of it is just they have a brain that just, it's gonna have to game out 1,000 ways that every single decision could go wrong, regardless of which way you choose. And I think that it's really hard for them to escape from that. I think that you are a person that brings them a lot of stability. I think there's two pretty distinct scenarios going on here with the people that are in this pile. I think that one is that you are in a low or no contact situation with your person, and they have fears about your connection. They have fears that you're drifting apart. They have fears that they're going to lose you forever. And those anxieties came to the forefront the last time they saw you. But you are, in general, a really comforting, safe place for them. I think that's one scenario. The other scenario is I think this is a person whose life you are in all the time. And I think that they do struggle with anxiety that would rise to the level of kind of clinical anxiety. And so I think that you have probably been interacting with them a lot, because I think that they're having a lot of issues with that anxiety right now. And I think that, I felt like taking a deep breath, like that feeling when your lungs expand. I think that you are a person who really encourages them, who really anchors them. I think that in many ways you are kind of their tie to feeling connected to the 3D world. I think that it's different worlds that are very distinct for them. The world that is objective reality going on around them, and then the world that is inside their head, doom spiraling. And I think that when they are alone, that doom spiraling is the only thing that seems real. And I think their own efforts to connect themselves back to 3D reality, to anchor themselves. Yeah, they had the techniques. I feel like they have techniques, because I felt when I drew in that breath, it didn't feel like just taking a deep breath. It felt like the beginning of a breathing technique, like box breathing or something like that. So I feel like they have likely availed themselves of therapy. I feel like they have techniques. I feel like they know about getting in their physical body. I feel like they know about, looking around and noticing specific things about the physical objects they're surrounded by. I feel like they know about breathing. Maybe they even know about tapping. And I think that all of those techniques are useful to them to a certain extent. But sometimes they just need a low, soothing voice. And I think that that's you, pile one. I will say, if this doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic connection, probably should have made that clear in the introduction. But if you are watching this for a person that you want romantic union with, but it just hasn't really been made clear to you that that's definitely going to happen, I do feel like there is an underlying thread here where this person is honestly afraid to lose you in their life by getting into a connection with you, and then it goes south and then they've lost you. Because, lifeline. I heard the word lifeline, and then I heard there's this John Mayer song called Lifelines. That's also, that song is also about like nostalgia and people that have been in your life for a long time, and your personal history and things like that. And so I think that that's also part of it. They feel like they would lose the thing that connects them to the quote unquote real world. And they also feel like they would lose such a valuable person who knows them inside and out, who they share so much history with. You are so valuable to them as a person that even though I actually do feel like they have the urge to, I feel like expressing their feelings would be really hard, but I think that they have the urge to just like wrap you up in their arms and just like hold you. And I think sometimes when you're talking, they want to just lean over and kiss you. Like it's a really strong urge. But again, they're fearful. And you are their soft space, safe space. You are their, human thunder vest. That's a thing you put on dogs to make them not afraid of storms. You are their safety in the world. And they can't lose that. I don't think that they would be able to take it. Tell me more, Spirit. Tell me more, please. So just to kind of clarify a direct answer where we are at right now with the main question, how they felt the last time they saw you, is I think they felt a lot of fear, and then they felt the safety of your presence. And I don't think that that's unique to just the last time they saw you. Oh, hold it. I was like, doesn't feel like it should be reversed to me, and it shouldn't have been because I was holding the deck upside down. Okay. Yeah, look at that. This Three of Pentacles, the figure is an angel. We have angel's wings here. You are their safety. You are their strength. You are their angel. Oh, also with strength and safe coming out right next to each other, S might be an important initial. First, middle, last, yours or theirs, or something like an object, a place, or an organization. And then with pentacles and present, P might also be. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, this person might have Earth heavy in their chart because we got Pentacles and then we got the Hermit, which is Virgo. Okay, well, this is, honestly, my heart kind of breaks for your person, pile one, because they're really going through it. And I don't think that that's an unusual situation. I think that's status quo for them. Yeah, so you are their angel. And with the Three of Pentacles, that is the energy of being on the same team, having the same goal, working together toward that goal. But then we have the Hermit and the Five of Swords. So yeah, where the two of you are right now is that they feel like they have a teammate. They feel like they have someone they can count on, that they can depend on. And that person is their angel, and that is you. And their fear is being alone. Their fear is being isolated. And then with the Five of Swords, it's interesting because I am noticing on the Five of Swords how we've got all of these red birds kind of closing in on them. Like red is fear, like their fears are coming in on them. And then we have these sort of, these hands of death, these disembodied kind of crypt keeper looking fingers closing in on this figure. And then the Hermit in this deck, when the Hermit in traditional Rider-Waite systems is generally carrying a lantern, in this instance is carrying a skull. This person might quite literally fear that they would die without you. And for a person with mental health struggles, that's not always an unwarranted fear. Let me be really clear though, Pile 1, their mental health is not your responsibility. If you ever feel the need to exit this connection or get some space because it's too much for you, because it's affecting your own mental health, I feel that you have a tremendous amount of love for this person. I feel like it would take a lot to get you to that place. And I also feel like you would probably make sure that they have supports in place. But also circumstances can change. If there are reasons, especially for your own safety, that you ever feel the need to exit this connection even quickly, even, putting up boundaries that might be really painful for this person. I feel for you in that situation, Pile 1, because I think with what I'm picking up of your energy and your heart, I think that would be almost unthinkable to you. And I think that it would be just incredibly difficult for you. However, it would not be wrong. You prioritizing yourself, your wellness, your well-being is never wrong. And so I just want to be clear that I am channeling what this person feels about you, not objective reality. This is not me, or definitely not spirit saying, well, it's now your responsibility, Pile 1, to keep this person connected to reality, to be their angel, to be their anchor. No, everyone is responsible for their own mental health. And I do think that this person is quite responsible. Let me be clear. I don't think that this person, I think this person works very hard to remain stable. And that's not an easy thing, like readjusting medications, dealing with side effects. I think this person, works out when they don't feel like working out. I think they eat healthy when they want to escape into, more comforting foods. But I think that they have a really good handle on the cause and effect of things like that. This tells me that this person has probably been dealing with this for a long time. But yeah, this person has a lot of fear of what might happen to them and in their life if they were to lose you. And yeah, like I said, if that's a question that you have in your mind of why, if this person has the urge to kiss me, if this person wants to be in union with me, why haven't they? It is quite literally because they are afraid that, it's actually because this person has a really good sense of cause and effect. It's because this person doesn't give in to the whims of the moment if they know that it is going to be harmful later on. And the last thing they would ever want to do is hurt you, but honestly, they're protecting themselves as well. They want you in their life as more than a friend. I can feel that. I can feel that pulling at the back, almost like when a dog is not pulling so hard at their leash that you would actually stop and correct them, but it's just like this sort of low grade pulling that they're doing to let you know that they want to go a little faster. Wow. I have genuinely just outed myself as a terrible dog trainer, and all of the Caesar Milan aficionados out there are like, girl, don't let them pull at all. What are you doing with your life? But back to the point. Yeah, the pull of wanting to be with you, genuinely be with you, is there in the background all of the time, but they won't give into it because they are genuinely terrified of the consequences. Potential consequences. Yeah, and also this might not always be the case. There might be a change of I think it would take a change of 3D circumstances, though. I don't think this is a matter of them maturing or coming to a realization. I think it would have to be something like, they spend quite a bit of time on a certain medication cocktail that just really stabilizes them and they feel stable enough to go forward with it. Something like that. Some kind of 3D change in circumstances. Yeah, let's get a couple of channeled messages here. Spirit, how did pile one's person feel the last time they saw them? How did pile one's person feel the last time they saw them? She or he doesn't matter. Yeah, so that's something that could be going on as well, is that they know. Yeah, I mean, I've been viewing this through the lens of mental health challenges, but this also could be addiction challenges. So they might know that they are in a place in their life where they are not stable enough to be in a relationship that is genuinely high stakes for them, but they may just desire companionship. So that may be something that really hurts you and is difficult for you to be around, is to see them sort of dating around when in your head and your heart, you're like, but I'm right here. Can't you see how beautiful this would be? And yes, they can see how beautiful this would be, but they have to stick to dating people that it wouldn't really matter that much to them if they lost them. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared to open up to you. This entire reading was about fear versus faith, basically. Fear versus strength, fear versus safety. And then the central message card talks about fear. Yeah, with this message card starting with an S and then with the main word here being S, scared, then we have swords. Like S is just all over this reading. Okay, I will be calling you soon. Okay, so I want to get some letters, and then we're going to get some word tiles. Okay, so we've got W, J, M, A, and Z. So A to Z, yes, you are this person's everything. I think that's part of it. With W-A, Washington could have something to do with this. Ooh, so WJ just made me think of WSJ, which that stands for Wall Street Journal, or at least that's what popped into my mind based on that. So finances could also have something to do with this in some way. Let's see. Yeah, with we don't have the second Z, but with JAZ, that makes me think of jazz. So music, particularly instrumental music, might have something to do with this as well. WM makes me think of William, so the name William might have something to do with this. Oh, JA just made me think of J.A. Jance, who's an author, so books or letters or something. Also school, like books is books is books. I mean, it does just mean books, but also that's a symbol of, learning, schooling, knowledge, that kind of thing as well. Okay, let's get the word tiles. Oh, so the first one that actually fell out of the bag, I didn't pull it, it fell out of the bag as I was kind of shuffling with my fingers, is will. And so that's obviously a word, but also because the name William popped into my mind, and then we got the name or the word will, which is also short for William. That is very interesting. So then we got cool and play. So yeah, play it cool. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to play it cool. They're trying to not let you know what they feel because they're scared of the consequences. Okay, we got double the friend tiles and they came out touching. So we got friend and friend. So yeah, they value you so much as a friend, as a soul connection, as just the rapport that your souls have with one another. Yeah, they're so afraid of losing that. Then we got sing, which music came through in the letters as well. Okay, then we got of, from, the, and am. So this idea of, which I think this is meant to be the word am, but it made me think of am, like from the AM, like from the early morning till the late at night. They are thinking about you and they need you. Like they need you in their life. If there's one message that has come through so loud and clear here, it's that they need you. And at this point right now, they're not willing to risk that to take a chance on romance, but you as a human being, you as their friend, they need you. They need you very much. Alrighty, so that is what I have for you. If this reading resonated with you, I would love it if you would like, subscribe, comment. I love to interact with people in the comments. That helps the channel so much, and I'm so grateful when people do that. I would so appreciate it. It helps the channel grow and spread. But what I really want to let you know, Pile 1, is that I am proud of you. You matter, you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. You are actually so much more than enough, Pile 1. You are enough. Okay. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the Luminous Void Tarot and the Hematite Stone, you have arrived at your reading. So let's get into it. Let's take a look. How did your person feel the last time they saw you? Spirit, tap me into the energy of how Pile 2's person felt the last time they saw Pile 2. Spirit, tap me into Pile 2's person, please. Tap me into Pile 2's person. did pile two's person feel the last time they saw them? Okay, pile two. So I don't want to be kind of overly optimistic or overly sunshiny, and I definitely don't want to overpromise, but that having been said, I feel like your person is gearing up to make a move. I feel like they are on the precipice. So here we have moon dust. To have a magical romance, you must be the magic. Then we have I am happy, and then we have judgment. So yeah, I think that they felt electricity, that they felt magical moon dust when they were with you or communicating with you. It doesn't have to be physically present with you. The last time they were in your energy, let's put it that way. I think that and with the I am happy, the thing that occurs to me about that phrasing as well, I am happy, is that the word happiness is sometimes used as a synonym for being in a relationship. So-and-so found happiness. So-and-so is looking for happiness, wishing you a lifetime of happiness. Like, this is a word that is often used, not just around the language of relationships, but as a word that stands in for the relationship. So I feel like they really not only felt all of this magic and happiness, but I think they saw this vision unfold for them of what it would be like with the two of you. ADHD started getting a ton of downloads and words just trailed off. So I think they saw this vision of what it would look like, the two of you going forward together in the future. And I think that they saw that it would be beautiful, that it would be happy, that it would be filled with bliss. I also think I'm noticing the freckles on this girl's, the spray of freckles across her nose and cheeks here. It made me think of this song Freckles by the band Lawrence, which is about, it's basically about how, society will reinforce your insecurities, but at the end of the day, you are utterly beautiful, and you need to know that you are utterly beautiful. So I think that might be something that's going on your side, like struggling with some body image issues or some, some insecurity surrounding looks. But in this person's eyes, and I mean, I actually think in most people's eyes, but definitely in this person's eyes, you are beautiful. You are so beautiful. And with that being attached to the I am happy card, I think that you are especially beautiful when your spirit is glowing, which I gotta say, I think is probably most of the time when you are in this person's energy. I think this person really lights you up from the inside out. So I think there's a sparkle that your eyes have when you are happy and joyful and blissful. I think there's a fresh glow that your skin takes on. I think there's a certain way that you smile. And this person is all in. They are so enamored. They are so infatuated. And yeah, with judgment being the final card here, I think they've been going back and forth for a while. And I don't even know if it's so much about whether to make a move, but maybe more like how to make a move. That tells me that you are likely in one another's lives. In a way that is maybe even a little more complex than just having a friendship. Like maybe you work together, maybe, you're in the same friendship circle, or there's perhaps some kind of reason that would make it so that the two of you would be in one another's circle, even if, they were rejected. And I think that's something they've been taking into account. Either that or they just need it to be so perfect. They just view you as being so high value that they don't feel like they can come with a half-baked offer. But either way, yeah, I feel like they're on the verge of pulling the trigger here, pile two. Okay, so Spirit, tap me into What did pile two's person feel the last time they saw pile two? Tell me more, Spirit. Tell me more. Okay. Hello, Major Arcana. So many Major Arcana. Oh my God. What? Oh my God. Pile two. This is so beautiful. My gosh. So, first of all, I can't help but notice that, so the first card to come out was Moon Dust. And then all three of the tarot cards here. So the moon is like this round spherical globe. And then the world, the wheel, and the sun are all these very iconically round shapes as well. So I think the idea of, and then I was talking about maybe you're in one another's social circle or friend circle. So the idea of a circle, I think, is important. So circling back around. So yeah, I mean, I know we don't love to get into exes, like we don't like to revisit, but this person might be an ex. Also the idea of something coming full circle. So maybe there's, sorry about that. I'm actually going to grab a drink of water. Yeah, so there might be some kind of important anniversary or some kind of activity coming up that is an annual activity, or maybe something happened last year that was special. And so, them making their move at the same time this year would be special, or something that would be like everything coming full circle. With the world, that does talk about geography and travel as well. So that could be something that they have been, ping-ponging back and forth in their brain, trying to figure out a way to make that work. Because I do feel, I really am getting the feeling that a lot of the influencing factors here are about the logistics of it. How do I make a move? What do I say? How do we figure out these problems? Like, I feel like the decision about whether or not to do it is done. Like, that's nailed down. They are now just making the plans. Yeah, with all of these kids' faces surrounding the world here, I think that, we talked to, and that came out right on top of Moon Dust. And actually it's bridging Moon Dust and Happy, which those were the two cards that really gave me the idea of that they saw this vision of the two of you, your future sort of unfolding, unfurling before them. So I think that likely does include kids. That could be kids that you already have, that they already have, or maybe they see a vision of the two of you having kids together. If that is not part of the plan, if that is not on your agenda for whatever reason, the idea of babies or kids can also be taken metaphorically, like they want to create something with you. They want to create a life. They want to build a business. They want to make a home together, like that kind of thing, just like creating something that wasn't there before. But yeah, this is significant. They want to give you the world. They want to see the world with you. They want to go through all of life. Oh, I actually just noticed that there's kids' faces surrounding the wheel as well. That could be, this is representing kids and these are representing grandkids, because the wheel really gave me the strong idea of like going through the phases of life together. And then amazing that in the outcome position here, we get the sun, and the sun has a de facto nickname, which is the happiest card in the deck. So we got an oracle card that said literally the words, I am happy. And then we get the sun, which is the happiest card in the deck. So it's more than you make them happy, pile two. You are happiness to them. You are the epitome of happiness to them. You You are the personification of happiness to them. Yeah, this is well, first of all, yes, it's beautiful energy. It's blissful energy. But yeah, this is also significant energy. I mean, like I said, hello, major arcana. So much major arcana. Yeah, and with the wheel coming out right on top of judgment as well, that tells me like they are ready to spin the wheel. They are ready to roll the dice. They are ready to pull the trigger. They are ready to insert another analogy here. Yeah, they're on the cusp. Ooh, I have sex addictions. So that may be something that they are also trying to get worked out. That may be part of the logistics that they are trying to figure out. And it's interesting as well because when people do have compulsions around sex, one of the ways that you know that it is compulsive or addictive behavior and not just enjoyable or love-based sex is that the sex is very joyless. It feels like just going through the motions. You're compelled to do it, but it's not bringing you any satisfaction or joy. You are the opposite of that feeling to them. So yeah, that might be something, especially if they're in like a 12-step or if they're in therapy, they might be working out with their support team, their mentor, their sponsor, their therapist, what the best way to go about making an offer to you is, and what the best way would be to manage their condition in a relationship. And not for nothing, but many times addictions, including sex addiction, comes from past trauma. And it's often really hard for people dealing with that kind of trauma to merge sex and love, which, if that's not something you've ever experienced, might seem utterly inconceivable to you. Like, sex is love. Like, sex and love, that's peanut butter and jelly. They just naturally go together. But for some people, that's not the case. And some people have to really intentionally, therapeutically reintegrate those two concepts, and they want to do that for you. I do also want to point out that this very specific message is not going to apply to every pile twos person out there. I think that like a wider theme of there is something that has a hold on them that they have been managing that they need to learn how to manage in a really important relationship like the one with you. That is probably, like a thread of that or a theme of that is probably true for the majority of the pile twos persons out there, but it's not. If this is not something you're aware of and you don't think it applies to your person, don't be like, oh my God, my person has a sex addiction. Like, no, it might not necessarily be that specifically true for every single pile twos person. I need space right now. Yeah, they're figuring it out. They have so much respect for you, pile two. They don't want to. Ooh, and this might also be a situation where their normal way that they would approach something that they're trying to overcome is that they would prioritize going for what they want over protecting your feelings. And so they're trying to do things so differently this time. Yeah, marry me. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Yeah, marriage, children, the whole shebang. They see it all with you. But so in Arrested Development, one of the characters named Maybe, there was this storyline where she was, it's so ridiculous to try to explain it if you don't have the context of the show. But she was a teenager in high school, but see, she had somehow stumbled her way into this job as a development executive at a movie studio. And so every time someone would question, like, you look kind of young to be working here, she would go, marry me. And just like that was her deflection. So this tells me that this person might deflect with jokes when things get too serious. That maybe both of you do that. Yeah, that might be, like, this might be a relationship where there's a lot of joking and a lot of banter. And I think that is, like, I think that you guys are just very playful together and you have a great rapport. But some of that, if not a lot of that, might be a deflection when it comes to diving deeper into actual feelings. Whew. Alrighty, let's get some letters. Oh, interesting that I'm using the dice letters today when I had used the phrase they're ready to roll the dice earlier. Okay, so we have O and O coming out up here. So that's matched pair energy. Also, cuddling and spooning might be something you guys like because I notice it's a big O and a little O. Yeah, we have FU, so that's fun. But I feel like this is almost, so this is not an 18 plus reading. We are not going to get too graphic with this, but I feel like the idea of the big O might be something that's on their mind. And let's say if we take what FU stands for and we use it not in the context of an insult, I think that that might be on their mind a bit as well. And then we have LP. So music, yeah, music. Ooh, somebody might collect vinyl records. Yeah, but there might be something to do with music here. Let's see. Oh, interesting. So we got loop. Yeah, the word loop, which comes back around to, well, comes back around. That's funny. That was not intentional. But comes back to that idea of the circular shape being really symbolic for your guys' relationship. And so the idea of something coming full circle, you can also express that concept through the phrase close the loop. So yeah, I feel like your guys' relationship right now is an open loop. And they want to close it. That is on their mind. They are on the verge of making moves to do that. Ooh, and also we have Fool. So yes, the Fool card. I just heard another song in the back of my head. I'll talk about that in a second. But the Fool card is starting on a brand new adventure, starting on a brand new journey, and they want a new life with you. They want to go down this path with you. So also there's this song called Fool by, I'm not going to remember the artist's name. She's got red hair. Goes, I'm a fool for you. I'm a fool. It's true. Anything you ask me to, I'll do. That's the part of the song that's going through my mind right now. I think her first name is Jessica. But basically I think that's the idea, that this person is basically wrapped around your little finger, pile two. They would do pretty much anything for you. Yeah, and then we also have pool, and I just heard the phrase the deep end, so I feel like, yeah, they want to dive into the deep end with you. Hey, let's get some word tiles. Let's get some word tiles. I mean, yeah, big feelings, huge feelings. Friend, when, gather. So yeah, gentle. Why did I think that said gather? Oh, that's interesting when I was reading it upside down. Yeah, apparently I could never be a spy for the CIA because my upside down reading skills are not up to par. But friend, when, gather makes me think of that has been an open question in both of your minds is when are you going to come into union? So gentle, like, and laugh and play. So I do feel like this gentle teasing, this playful energy is kind of a hallmark of your relationship. And then with hug, I feel like, yeah, I think that to me goes beyond hug. I mean, of course, I think they love to hug you. I think they love to be in your arms. They love to hold you close to them. But I think your energy is also like a warm hug. But I think that goes beyond just hug. I think that's snuggling. Like this is really giving me the energy of snuggling and cuddling. Yeah, physical contact, I think, is a big deal to this person and not just in a sexual way. Alrighty, so that is what I have for you, Pile 2. If this reading resonated, I would love it if you would give this video a like, if you would give it a comment, if there's something that you would love to share. I really enjoy connecting and interacting with people in the comments. If you would like to see more readings like this, I would love it if you would subscribe. And all of those things really help the channel to grow, and I appreciate them from the bottom of my heart more than you can imagine. I really do. I want to re-emphasize that, just how much it means to me and how much I appreciate when people interact. But what I really want to tell you, Pile 2, is that I am proud of you. You are, sorry. Man, why are my thoughts distracting me? It really started when I started pulling the letters and the word tiles. I started hearing so many songs, just little snippets of songs just going through my mind. And none of them feel particularly important except for the ones that I stopped and talked about. But it's almost like turning the radio dial, and it's very distracting. But music might be a way that the two of you send each other messages, or, a place of connecting in the 3D reality, or even that your higher selves are sending you messages. But yeah, so it even distracted me from my little speech that I like to give at the end. So let's start that over. So the thing that I really want to tell you, Pile 2, is that I am proud of you. You matter, you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Okay. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose the Mystic Mondays Tarot or this Snowflake Obsidian, then you have arrived at your reading. So let's dive in. Got a little catch in my throat. So right away, that tells me this person probably has blocked throat chakra. They are feeling a lot of things and they're not telling you about them. And it's so interesting because I just drank a bunch of water right before I sat down to record this reading. So yeah, I definitely should not have a dry throat whatsoever. So Spirit, tap me into Pile 3's person. Pile 3's very quiet person. Spirit, how did Pile 3's person feel the last time they saw Pile 3? Spirit, tap me into pile three's person, please. Their feelings the last time they saw pile three. Ooh, interesting. So illumination and awareness, those two are very closely associated concepts. So we got illumination. Whatever the question, the answer is to keep loving. Then we have I am a creator, and then we have awareness. So I think they felt clarity, first of all, the last time that they were in your energy. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you have an energy that brings them clarity in many situations. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, pile three, if you are a person who brings a lot of people clarity. Yeah, so it's possible that you are a light worker of some type. Also, maybe that you are a teacher of some kind, because with the idea of illumination, these lamps, these pendant lamps are giving me the idea of a light bulb going on. Yeah, and then the creator card is giving me big time Empress energy with the artwork here. And the Empress is often thought of as a mother figure or working, with children in some way. Yeah, I think that you pile three are very spiritually advanced. So this really goes beyond, you give great advice, or, it even goes beyond you have so much wisdom. It is literally just your spirit, your aura, your energy that shines light onto people's situations and causes them to see what's hiding in the shadowed corners. Yeah, you bring awareness to things that have been suppressed. You bring illumination to dark corners. And with this I am a creator coming out centrally here, I think that this is something that causes many people to respond with renewed inspiration for a future that they had either never considered was possible or had talked themselves out of it being possible. Yeah, and I think it's because you also illuminate, it's not just dark corners that you illuminate. You also illuminate. So what I mean by that is things that are hidden are not necessarily dark. So it's not just that you illuminate shadow work or that you illuminate trauma, but I think that you bring awareness to people of talents that they never knew that they had, or passions or hobbies or interests that they had never been aware of before. So I think that, yeah, I almost think of you as like a guru. And I don't mean in like the weird, like I'm selling products on the internet guru. I mean it in a very spiritual sense. Like you're a leader, you lead people into the light. I feel like it's so interesting though, because I feel like in very much the tradition of the cobbler's wife goes shoeless and the doctor's wife dies early, I think is the phrase. Which basically is just a phrase that means, people's gifts often help everyone but themselves and the closest to them. So I think that it's like there's a certain weird symmetry to the idea that you illuminate other people's gifts for them so clearly. And yet I don't know if you are even fully aware that you have the power to do this or that you often do this. I think you might have an inkling, but I don't think that you really understand the fullness and the scope of it by any means. And I think that that's because you are humble. I think that you may look at this as your calling, but I think that you might not have any conception of how powerful you are. I think that's really what I've been trying to sort of zero in on. Yeah, I think that you just sort of feel like, well, this is what I'm meant to be doing. I found my calling. And I think you look at that as a blessing for you. How lucky you are to have found what you're put here to do, what you're meant to do. How fortunate you are to be given the opportunity to help people. I think that's really important for you. And I think honestly, without that spirit of humility, you would not be such an effective vessel for divine light. Because if you were just walking around going like, yeah, I am the baddest thing walking. Like, hey, anybody needs some divine light? Anybody needs some like very expert guidance? Come over here. Then, I mean, that would be an attitude that would actually cut you right off from the divine. I think it is the fact that you don't know your own strength and power that actually enables you to have it in many ways. But man, this person is certainly aware of it. And I think that this is a reason why they seek you out many times, because they get so used to existing in the reflection of your divine light that you are channeling through, that kind of becomes their default. And then when they are away from you, when they're not in your energy, it feels very dark because they have gotten used to just always existing in this bright, warm, comforting glow. Oh, yeah, I feel like you also scare them a little bit, though, because I think you fascinate and also scare them. This particular aspect of you, your gifts, your powers, because I do feel like it occurs to them every once in a while, like, oh, I feel like pile 3 can really see right through me. Like there's no keeping a secret from pile 3. But what I think they don't realize is that that is actually true. You intuitively or actually know all of the most embarrassing things about them, the things that they would be so ashamed. And I honestly think most of the things you find pretty endearing, truthfully. And the other things I think you just approach with no judgment. I think you have a very almost like practical or neutral, I think would be another way to say it, conception of the idea that we are all just like, going through this mortal journey, trying to grow the best we can through this incarnation. None of us is perfect, but also none of us is irreparably broken. And the things that they get nervous about your soul shining a light on and seeing really clearly within them, you already know. Yeah, and you don't judge them. This is a lovely connection. I will say this though, pile 3, and I do think that this might be difficult to hear if this is a connection that you want romance out of. I don't feel like they're there yet. I don't think they're there yet. But they love you. They love you very much. But there's something standing in the way of them seeing you in that way. Maybe it's that they think of you as sort of like this this Mother Mary figure, like in the virgin whore paradigm. Like they think of you as the virgin. They think of you as so spiritually pure or something like that. Yeah, which is not to say that they will never turn that corner, because they have, well, first of all, they have immense respect for you. They have an incredible need to be connected to you. They miss you. They miss you terribly when they have been separated from you for even a short amount of time. But I just think like that romance piece has just not popped its head up yet. But again, not to say that it won't. I mean, that might be something that your light brings awareness to them about. Oh, holding the deck upside down. I do that a lot. I wonder if that's a neurodivergent thing. Oh, and if that is a realization they're going to have with the Eight of Wands, it might be soon. It might be quite quickly. Oh, that is so interesting that we got the Seven of Swords coming out centrally here, because, you know, that is like the Seven of Swords. That is the dark shadows. That is the shadowy corners that realizations are hiding in. That is even that fear that they have that you are going to see what they are trying to keep hidden from you. Yeah, the Seven of Swords is no match for your energy, though, pile 3, because you are the bringer of light. Yeah, that is so interesting, because I'm going to move the cards a little bit here because I want to show you. Look how similar the artwork is with the positioning of this sphere on the Magician card with the Earth on the I Am Creator card. Look how even similar the angle of this figure's hands are. And so I'm hearing the song, He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, which if you were raised in church, you probably know that song. Or if you were raised in the 70s folk scene, you might also be familiar with that song. But that is how I feel like this person looks at you, like you carry the world in your hands. Oh, this is really beautiful. I feel like this person wants to have light shown on their dark corners. They might be scared of what they will find, what you will see. But there's also like this strong desire to have that happen. Yeah, I almost feel like they wonder if they're good enough to partake of your spiritual purity. Like that they look at you as being so clean, and they look at themselves as being kind of dirty, filthy, that they might taint you. Yeah, with the Eight of Wands, this could also be a situation where they are impulsive by nature. And you strike me as much more of a calm, centered energy, which is not to say that you don't have big feelings. But I think your spirituality provides an anchor for those big feelings that make you not just kind of like fly off the handle or do things incredibly impulsively. Just, I think that you have, yeah, and this could also be personality type as well, that you take the long view. And I think you just have a much calmer nature as well. Yeah, I also think that I really like in the artwork here, I'm going to hold it up so you can see how it really is like this sphere that the magician is holding is shining a light. It is illuminating. You can see the direction that the light is shining from that sphere. So this really is a situation where this person conceives of you as incredibly powerful. I think there's a difference between the way that you conceive of your gifts and your calling, which is that you look at it as just like, this is your spirit. This is who you are. Whereas I think this person looks at it as like a power that you wield, like a tool. Like it's more, I think you think of it as more intrinsic to you, and they look at it as more like something outside of yourself that you have the ability to control. So that might also, so if you, for instance, if your gift and calling is esoteric gifts, so you are psychic, you are a medium, you are a tarot reader, that could also explain why they're a little freaked out by it. Because you look at it as, you know, something that's just part of you, something that's part of your soul. Whereas they look at it as, you know, you're That's So Raven or something, and you can see everything. And anytime that you want to, you can just close your eyes and read their thoughts. Or, yeah, I feel like they look at it much more the way that it would be portrayed in like TV or the movies or something like that. So yeah, they might find it a little scary. But what they love is the way that they feel when they're in it. Because this is something that radiates off of you. This is like, people can feel it when they're just like waiting in a line behind you. Like this radiates off of you. This is part of your aura. And they love being a part of that energy. They love basking in it. Yes, the word basking just echoed through my mind. They love to bask in your energy, but your energy also freaks them out. It was bad timing, love. Okay, so now we're getting to the nitty gritty about the romantic feelings. So it's interesting because when I was saying I don't feel like the romance piece is there yet, like my words just formed it as yet, and then I felt compelled to talk about how that doesn't mean that that's never going to change. that it's just like that is a piece that just hasn't popped its head up yet. And then the very first channeled message card we get references timing. So that to me says the energies are supporting the idea that they are going to feel, well, let me put it this way. If this is a person that you are watching because you have romantic feelings and this is a romantic interest, if this is like a family member or something, don't think that this is prescriptive. Like, it doesn't have to happen if you're watching this for a platonic connection. But if this is someone that you are watching because they are a romantic person of interest, then yeah, this to me says the energies support that it will eventually make that turn, but the timing is just not there yet. Yeah, I've been badly hurt in the past. And that could actually be what they are afraid of, especially if this is some sort of childhood trauma, especially if it's the kind, God forbid, I hope this is not true for them. I wouldn't want anybody to ever have to go through this, but sadly a lot of people do. But if it is the kind of trauma that people tend to have shame or stigma around, that might be something that they're afraid. Like, first of all, yeah, that could really influence that paradigm of that they view you as being so clean and pure, and they view themselves, wow, I'm going to get choked up right now. They view themselves intrinsically as being dirty or bad, and they don't want to sully you with their unworthiness. And yeah, that's so tragic. I really hope, that could be a reason why they treasure being in your energy so much as well, pile 3, because I feel like this is another gift that you have intrinsically, is that you make people feel so valued, so cherished, so worthy. And I think they want to believe that of themselves really badly. And yeah, I hope and pray that they can. I hope and pray that they do. I'm afraid of commitment. I don't know. I think that this card is referencing something even deeper than being afraid of commitment. I think it's about they're afraid of hurting you, letting you down, or anybody, maybe even anybody. This could really come back to self-concept stuff, that they just look at themselves as being so unworthy. Yeah, let's get some letters. And we're going to get some word tiles. Ooh, well, that one got so excited it tossed itself right off the table. So we've got G, U, Y. So that could be the name guy. That could be, if they have had commitment issues, they could justify or explain that to themselves by saying like, hey, I'm a guy. Guys don't want to settle down type of a thing, but they know it's deeper than that. So we've got 2 P's. So anytime that 2 letters come out the same, I look at that as being matched parent energy. We've got a J, an I, and an A. So with PJ, so again, that could be a name, but that also makes me think of pajamas. So that could be referencing nighttime or sleeping. They might have been having trouble sleeping lately. Okay, with AI, this is interesting. So there is a psychological thing that happens where sometimes people, especially people who had significant early trauma, find it hard to conceptualize themselves as human. Like they just don't think of themselves as being, quote, a real person in the way that other people are that are a real person. So yeah, they could be struggling with that they feel like they can't feel deep feelings, that they feel robotic, that they can't access emotions. I think that being in your energy gives them a glimpse of a future where that doesn't have to be true. Yeah. Okay, so with PI, there might be, so that makes me think of private investigator. There might be some sort of legal case or some sort of mystery or something surrounding what happened to them in the past. So it's possible that it could be a mystery to even them what happened to them. They might have suffered a trauma that happened to them before conscious memories were even being formed. Or it could be, they have suffered a trauma or an abandonment or something from someone who is no longer in their life and they don't even know where that person is. Or, they might have been desiring closure, but they don't know how to even get in contact with that person. Or they might have been, wanting that person to face some sort of justice for what was done to them, but there's some sort of investigation or something like that. Let's see. Okay, so app is making me think of, that's interesting. So we got AI and then we have app. Those are two things that make me think of, computing, personal electronics, the internet. So this might be a person that you have met over the internet or you primarily communicate over the internet. Oh, okay. So Up is making me think of, the first 5 minutes of the movie Up is well known as being like this little wordless masterpiece of emotion. And yeah, so... Okay, so one of the things that little story at the beginning of Up deals with is infertility. And then the Magician card and the I Am a Creator card both really echo the body position and artwork that's most often seen on Empress cards. And the Empress has to do with fertility. So fertility might have something to do with this connection, or what's holding this connection back, or what needs to be healed from the past, something like that. Okay, so gap. Yeah, that makes me, so I'm hearing the phrase gap year, which is it's a year that you take between high school and college where it's meant for exploring. But ideally, it's also meant for, you're seeing a lot of things, you're experiencing cultures that you wouldn't have previously experienced. And so, personal growth, broadening your horizons. So I do think that is something that this person gets from you, is you significantly broaden their horizons to perspectives that they may have never considered to. Yeah, I think you have broadened their horizons to see what is possible for them in life. But I also think that there is a lot about the universe that they always would have said, like, oh, that's ridiculous, or that's so dumb, I would never believe in that. And yet they do now because of you, or at least they consider the possibility. Yeah, the last word I'm seeing, and then we'll move on to word tiles. So we don't have the I, but yuppie. So yeah, that's sort of an 80s thing, but yuppies were like these young, upper class, yeah, I don't remember what it stood for. Young, upwardly mobile, maybe professional. I don't know. But it was like, I was about to say, yuppies. Like, no, if you're waiting on me to explain it, you probably don't know. But it was basically like younger people, 35 and under, who had college degrees and were climbing the corporate ladder, and they had no kids and they had money to spare, basically. So any of those threads or themes could have something to do with this, like the idea of moving forward in your career, the idea of chasing the bag, the idea of, kids. I mean, it comes back to kids again. So yeah, any of those could have something to do with this. Okay, let's get some word tiles. Okay, laugh, believe, forever, gentle. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this, there's not going to be a lot of new information in here, but I definitely believe that you have opened their eyes to the possibility of a better future that they never would have accepted was possible for them before. Yeah, and then with believe as well, I think that you have also opened their mind to believing in concepts and spirituality that they never would have believed in before as well. It's pretty significant. Okay. Yeah, so that is what I have for you, pile 3. I hope that it resonated in a way that brought you clarity and shed some light on what feels like a very powerful connection. And sorry about that, pile 3. I am back. Somebody knocked on the door. I had to go see what that was. So, at any rate, that is what I have for you, pile 3. So it was actually pretty auspicious timing, but that is what I have for you, pile 3. I hope that this helped. This feels like an incredibly powerful connection, so I hope this brought some clarity or at least some food for thought. If this reading resonated, I would so appreciate it if you would like this video, if you would comment. I love interacting with people in the comments. If you would like to see more readings like this, I would love it if you would subscribe. All of those things I am so grateful for. They really help the channel grow. They really help the videos to spread in the algorithm. And again, I am so appreciative of that from the bottom of my heart. And I really want to let you know, though, the way that I want to wrap this up is by letting you know, pile 3, that I am proud of you. You matter. You are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Okay, bye, pile 3.